toxic.
I do get kisses. So I'm I love my husband. So I have decided to work a little bit more on this today, as I have a little bit of a break, about an hour or so. I look beautiful. I got a shower, but sometimes when I'm home I just paint when I can. You get me a lot of times at nighttime when I've gone all day long and I taught classes and I worked, and it's like midnight when I get the chance to start working on it. So I always look at my hair in the paintings. I think it's funny. It's usually a wreck, but it doesn't start out that way. So I have a lot to do on here. I have 4 faces in the side of this gentleman's face. I don't know if you can see them. And she has a face up in here, which you probably can't see. And her face superimposes his face. And then there's 2 faces over here. And somewhere I think there's going to be a little bit of hair in here and a whole bunch of faces that come down in here. So I'm like trying to figure out where to start. And I got some up in here. He's not done. I don't want to finish I don't want to give him eyelashes until this eye is done, because it's easier to match the eyes up without the eyelashes and the finishing touches on the eyes. And he needs some more shading in him. His nose is a little curved and whatnot. I got to do some work on that, but I just got some basic colors down in. But I paused last night working on it because of these faces. And I got to do the eye, and I've been trying to figure out her lip kind of comes in and is part of the eyebrow. So some considerations I need to try to figure out. So I paused, and I'm just deciding where to go. I'm not sure, but I'm gonna work a little bit on it, and I guess I'll figure it out. I don't know. I've got about an hour, and then I gotta get showered, and I got some oil painting classes to teach tonight at the studio. They're a little different type of oil. I'm probably gonna have a good 2-week dry time on this. Once the whole entire thing's done, before I can glaze on it, at least a week, because the oil paints take a while to dry. Even they're dried at a touch in here a little bit. Probably a good week or so before I can glaze. He's still wet. I worked on him last night. I can feel him. They're wet underneath. They cure over the top a little bit. She's still a little tacky. So yeah, once it's done, I'm gonna have to let it sit for a week at least before I can even attempt to do any glazing. And there's a lot of work in here still. So it's probably a month's worth of work if I can only get an hour at a time. So I'm gonna go paint, and we're gonna see how it works out, see what I can get done. Alright, bye. Hello. So I had to take a little bit of a break from painting as this person, and it's not done. I had some proportional features weren't correct. I jacked it up. So I had to go and research, and I'm still working on it. I found some images that had the correct proportions, even though it's not the same face, and the correct lighting to help fix it. I had my lips too wide, my nose was huge, and it was actually moved over too far for how direct this face is on. I had to extend the face out some more. I might have to do it a bit more. I'm not sure. I had to change the outline here. The eyes are done. I had to change the brow line though. This line right here that comes up from the nose, because I had the nose tip like this when it should have been more like this. Can you see the difference in my nose? Same thing here. I had like a profile nose, like her face is turned much more, if you can see in this one. Her face is more straight on. And his is turned slightly. It's like a normal portrait. If you were taking a photograph, it's a normal portrait pose. It's not a profile. It's not quite 3/4. This is 3/4. This is portrait. You still see more of one jawline than the other. But being is I see these images in the canvas, I sketch them on. I'm trying to go from memory, and I'm trying not to look at anything. I get it going. If something seems off, I obviously know it. I look at a lot of human faces. If something's off, I know what it is. And once in a while, I just need to research. I know exactly what his nose is supposed to look like, or her nose. It's starting to shift a little bit, so it could be a girl, might be a lady. This might be a painting of ladies. I don't know. Nothing wrong with a painting full of ladies. Alright, nothing wrong with a painting full of gentlemen either. So we'll see. This painting is taking the shape of its own. I look at a masculine face, I drew a masculine face, I even used the masculine face for reference, so my thoughts are if it ends up being feminine, there's a reason for that. Some men are very feminine looking, some women are very masculine looking, so, and when you're not seeing the hair and all that stuff, there's some, when you take out all the color, there's just some that you can't tell. I've met kids before, I've met children before that like girls who've had their hair cut real short. It's just, or vice versa, boys who've had their hair grown real long, and I literally didn't know what their gender was, and I didn't care. They tell me, and whatever. It's not about gender. It's about that sometimes some faces are very gender neutral, so, and some aren't. Some are very prominently feminine, very prominently masculine, what we deem as that, and then some are somewhere in between. And I'm thinking that this is one of those. It's somewhere in between. So she's very feminine. She's very feminine. Extremely feminine. This has feminine and masculine qualities, and we won't know until it gets done on what it is, I guess. So that's okay. Nothing wrong with that. So, but yes. So I pause, and when you see the video and you see the face has changed a bit, that is why. This is not done. I have rough shapes blocked out, as you can see. This definitely isn't quite right yet in here. This is a little off. This isn't quite, the nose is not done. And the eye, I think I'm gonna adjust the eye a tiny bit. I actually have to extend it over because I have the nose coming over it too far. So I actually have to fix the eye here. This eye might end up being a teeny bit smaller. I'm not sure. I had to change the brow line and everything. And like I said, I gotta put all the shading and whatnot in here. I had to change the chin line. The mouth was shifted. The mouth was way over here. And actually, the mouth was way up here. It was up too high. It wasn't correct proportion. It was bugging the heck out of me. I didn't like it. Nothing I can say else about that. I didn't like it. It wasn't right. Eye's still not right. I can't do too much with this cheekbone because there's 1, 2, 3, 4 faces right in there. So, but I got this far, and I think that I got some more to do up in here and fixing that nose. So if you see it jump in the picture, that's why I had to go fix it, which is okay, because this is really super cool how it's taking life in, and I love it. And you know, I seem to know on a face when it's done. It's done when it's done, and it looks like it's supposed to look like that. Is my dog barking? We've been doing it all day. It's so annoying. So but yes, I painted for about an hour today fixing this so far, and now I gotta go get groceries and do some work. So I will hopefully paint tonight some more. It's my day off. I enjoy painting. It makes me feel good. So I'm gonna try to get a little bit more in on this face tonight, and then I'll just keep plugging away at it. So I'm interested if this changes to a female or not, and then I wonder what the rest of them are gonna do. Because this one over here definitely looks masculine to me, but that doesn't mean that that's what it will turn out like. So we will see, because this was a dude when I started, and that is a female now, and I painted it, and it started out like a man, and it turned into a woman, and that is okay. So, gotta love women. Women are beautiful. Women are beautiful. So are men. Alright, so I'll see you soon when I finish painting it, and I just had a minute to kind of explain it. So. will post, let me move this so you can see a little better. There we go. I will post some before and afters. I have to stop at this point because it's 11 o'clock at night and I have 2 classes to teach tomorrow. So, and a whole bunch of stuff to do. So, I don't want to be tired. Although I want to keep painting. But I completely fixed the whole face, got the eyes done. It took me a few days. I took a little break. I can't go on any further. There's some more to do up here in the eye, in the eyebrow, and up in here. But there's the faces. There's a face here, here. Obviously, her. There's a face here in the cheek. Another face down here. One here and here. So, I have to do this face first. Blend it over. Either this face or this face second. At least up to this face. I can do this one after, but before I can completely finish this face because they all kind of morph together. So, but I like this a lot better. I'll probably do a little touch-ups. I might do a bit more in the mouth, but I'm going to wait and do that. Because remember, this is just an underpainting. So I'm going to wait and do that after the rest of it's done. Because when you come in and you do glazing, that's when you can shade. You can add depth and stuff into areas and stuff. So the underpainting is basic painting. And you can go crazy doing this, but I'm trying to get it realistic. It's kind of hard because I don't have anything to look at. I'll post it before I fix this one and after. I'll do a before and after photo so you can see the changes that I made. I changed the nose a lot. I changed the eyebrow arch up in here. The nose came way down. The lips were up higher. The nose looked like Gonzo. So, I think it's a dude. I thought it was a lady. I think it's a guy. I think it can go either way, though. I truly think it could go either way. I mean, you can see some feminine qualities in it, but I think it's a guy. I think these two are actually like twin guys, but we'll see. We don't know until we paint it what it comes out like. So I just saw some rough images in there. A few of them are very distinct like her. Now she has a face in here. I don't know how I'm going to do that. That's the issue with this. If it's just one face, I would have had this thing done by now. But, and if I had, if I was looking at a portrait, it looks spot on because I'm pretty good at that. But, or for the most part. But it's trying to look and see without there being anything there. That's the issue. Sometimes I'm trying to do it that way because it's kind of fun, to be honest with you. It's kind of fun to try to paint without having an image there and get it right. It's kind of to see how good my memory is about what people look like. That's kind of fun. I mean, being a photographer, I've taken so many pictures of people. I know what a human face looks like, but sometimes it's just like remembering where these shadows are, or like shadows in here, or highlights up in here. If you look at my nose, there's a shadow that comes down here and then it's right here, but there's no lines. And when we draw in comics, if there's lines, so you have to get them right or it doesn't look right. If we don't pull the nose out and make it really bright here and make this really dark here, the face is going to look very flat. And is it that contrasting in real life? Nope. It's not, but we're gonna glaze color over that. So you have to remember that we have to compensate for the color going over it, because if we do not, there won't be any depth. It'll look like a flat piece of paper, and we don't want that. So I think I see depth. It was really neat kind of watching the videos. I love to watch the videos as they go, because as they make changes, it almost in this gray tone like this, it looks like clay, molding clay. I love the mold clay. I think I'd be a good sculptor. But it almost looks like it's being clay molded on the canvas, which is really neat. Maybe I only noticed that, but when you're watching it, take a look at it. It's pretty cool. And you can see, I always like to explain. So like highlights, look at the highlights here. They come up, they arch here, and they go in there. So you can tell that this thing goes in. That's flat. That's a flat canvas, two-dimensional. But because of the shading, you can see that the thing here, you know that thing? It goes in. Hers isn't so pronounced, but it's there. They go in. This lip comes out. This part of my lip is out further than this. So, or this. You can see this goes in right here. Chin comes out. See the darkness in the highlights. It sounds so silly, but so many people hate flat faces, and you have to put the highlights on. You can see them on my face right now. I have a highlight right here. Now it's glare. I probably have oily face. I have a highlight here, a highlight here. You can see them. They're more subtle because I'm in color. I made this black and white and bump up the contrast to be able to tell. So, but that's it for tonight. And then we'll see. Hopefully tomorrow night I can work on it a little bit more. And I gotta take a look. I always have to make sure the eyes somewhat match, or that they match. So I'll look at photographs and stand back after I'm done with the video. I might play with this eye a bit more, but I don't know until I actually finish this. But it's pretty close. I want to go up and do her face, but I really gotta finish this first. So I can't. It's kind of interesting to see what that face is gonna look like. I rubbed some of it away, so now I gotta see if I can recall where it goes. All right.